12 to 17.
Listen to part of a lecture in an architecture class.
Today I'll be discussing a phenomenon that grew out of the need to conserve energy. In the past few decades, quite a number of airtight buildings were constructed. Actually, they continue to be constructed. What we'll be looking at is how these buildings make people sick. Yes, that's the phenomenon. These buildings make people sick. You may have heard of the ailment, sick building syndrome, or SBS for short. Seems like an apt name. Well, initial studies on airtight buildings showed that building owners could save substantially on heating and cooling energy costs, as much as 37%. Now, that's a lot of money. So naturally, more than a few showed interest in having this type of building constructed. By the 1970s, it became a requirement in some states for buildings to be airtight. This was the government's bid to conserve fuel. So, people in the construction field began devising ways to make these structures more airtight. I'll talk about just two approaches. One involves wrapping the building, the sealed polythene approach. Basically, sealed polythene is inserted between the insulating materials and the interior finish materials. But that's not all. On the outside, building paper or house wrap is used to form a moisture barrier. Now, I guess not many of you have ever seen building paper. It's a very heavy and durable paper that has been coated or laminated to make it resistant to water. It's very good at insulating, so you can see how it would make a building airtight. A second approach is the airtight drywall method, which necessitates the laying of gypsum boards against the foundation, roof, and walls of a building. Gypsum is actually a common mineral that is used to make cement and plaster. So, building owners began to enjoy energy savings. The government was able to reduce fuel consumption. But in the 1970s, doctors saw a sharp increase in the number of people with headaches, respiratory problems, dizziness, fatigue, eye irritations, nausea. It took a while, in fact several years, to trace these symptoms to their source. The doctors discovered that people who lived or worked in certain buildings became sick.
But when they left these buildings, their symptoms disappeared.
This is why it took so long to figure out what was going on. Well, medical researchers ascertained that the problem with these buildings was the flow of air, or rather, the lack of it. You see, when you seal a building or change its airflow, air may not move as freely. Contaminants are found in any building, you know. The paint on the walls, wooden decorations coated with varnish, poisonous emissions from photocopiers and computers, damp walls and floors that may have molds and fungi, and even perfume. I could go on and on. You see, when temperatures rise to about 20 degrees Celsius, volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, are emitted as vapors and gases from both solids and liquids that may be present in a room. And these vapors and gases are toxic and hazardous to health. Well, think of these gases in an airtight building, and you'll understand why people were getting sick. The most common symptoms that people experience are respiratory. A runny nose and a chronic cough are the milder symptoms. The worst is real respiratory distress, and for asthma sufferers, full-blown asthma fits. So, it's not surprising that with the construction of so many airtight buildings, more and more people began taking sick leaves. The World Health Organization has estimated that the loss due to absenteeism from sick building ailments
Amounts to about $100 billion a year.
So sure, the government was looking to save energy, but I guess these folks didn't realize that those savings would be wiped out by employee absenteeism, medical costs, reduced productivity, and decreased company earnings.
Now get ready to answer the questions. You may use your notes to help you answer. 12. What is the talk mainly about?
13. What are two aspects of the sealed polyethylene approach?
"14. According to the professor, why did doctors take years to discover the reason for the sharp increase in health ailments in the 1970s?
"15. How does the professor clarify her point about contaminants found in any building?
"16. What does the professor say about solids and liquids in a room? "17. What is the professor's opinion of the government's solution to save on energy costs?
(18 to 22). Listen to a conversation between a student and a professor.
Hi there. I'm looking for a Professor Reitman.
Yes, are you from one of my classes?
Not exactly. I'm Emily. I'm a third-year psychology student, and I'm interested in your class about Freud.
Great, that class is always popular. It fills up quickly every year.
That is sort of why I'm here, actually. I was hoping that you would let me audit the course. I should explain. Originally, I tried to register for the class online, but the system wouldn't let me. I realized afterward that it was because I didn't take the prerequisite class about, modern psychology.
Oh, that's too bad. But, the course will be offered next semester too, so you can complete the prerequisite in the meantime and sign up then.
I'm not sure I can wait. You see, I'm really interested in Freud, and I'm planning on writing an undergraduate thesis on him next year, so I really need to take the course now.
I'm sorry, but auditing doesn't sound like a good idea. My course isn't for beginners. It builds on the concepts from the modern psychology course. You could get, overwhelmed if you don't have that knowledge.
How about if I review the concepts on my own? I could catch up that way, I think.
That's a lot of material for you to cover independently.
I know I could do it. I'd really appreciate it if you gave me a chance.
Well, all right. I'll allow you to audit the course, but there is one condition.
Sure, what is it?
Well, I need you to take the course seriously. I had a problem related to this with another student who audited one of my courses. There will be a lot of class discussions based on readings, and I expect you to be prepared. That means reading the assigned material and actively contributing to the discussions. The students are meant to learn as much from each other as from me.
Of course. You've done me a huge favor, and I'm really grateful. I wonder if I could ask just one more thing.
What is it?
Well, I'm probably going to focus my thesis topic on Freud's dream theories. I think it's fascinating how he viewed our dreams as a way for our unconscious mind to, express itself. Would you meet with me at the end of the semester to give feedback on my paper's outline? Just to be clear, you wouldn't need to read anything extensive. It'd just be a brief conversation about, if my outline is workable or not.
I can't guarantee anything now. The end of the semester is a busy period for me. I'll be interviewing and hiring research assistants for the psychology department's summer research program. And we're expanding the program, so it's going to be an even bigger commitment. Anyway, if I can spare some time to review your outline, I will.
Okay, I will talk to you about this again near the end of the semester. Once again, thanks so much.
Now get ready to answer the questions. You may use your notes to help you answer.
18. Why does the student go to see the professor? "19. What does the professor say about the course on Freud? "20. Why does the student mention an undergraduate thesis? "21. What condition does the professor put on the student's attendance in his class? "22. Why does the professor mention the psychology department's summer research program?